Hola y buenos días. Me llamo Roberto Morris. Today, we'll go over the things that we've been doing in this unit so far, including the number system, in preparation for the unit evaluation, which we'll have next class. We'll also play some loteria today. But before we begin, let's go ahead and sing our opening song. Canten conmigo. Hola, buenos días. ¿Cómo están ustedes? ¿Cómo se sienten? Yo me siento bien. Good job. Muy bien cantado. Well, let's go ahead and get right into the lesson so that we have as much time as possible for the loteria game. Let's start off by looking at the greetings. If someone walks up and says, ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? How are you going to respond? Me llamo Ana. And it depends on what your name is, of course. Me llamo, and then your name. If someone asks you, ¿Cómo estás? Do you remember what you say? ¿Cómo estás? You say, Estoy bien. And then if you want to ask them, you can say, ¿Y tú? ¿Cómo estás? So if somebody asks you, ¿Cómo estás? You can say, Estoy bien. And you might even want to say, Gracias. And that means, thank you. Well, here's somebody, she doesn't know this boy, so she's going to ask, ¿Cómo se llama tu amigo? Repitan. And to present someone, you can say, Te presento a David. Repitan. Okay. When you meet somebody new, you say, Mucho gusto. Repitan. And if somebody says, Mucho gusto to you, you answer them by saying, El gusto es mío. All right. Well, don't forget to keep practicing these greetings. But let me warn you that Spanish-speaking people love to hear someone else speaking Spanish. So when you start to speak Spanish to them, they're probably going to get very excited and want to talk to you and teach you some more things. To help you remember, please watch this video again on the greetings. Pongan atención y repitan todos. Ahora vamos a repasar los saludos otra vez. Buenos días. ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Roberto. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú cómo estás? Estoy bien, gracias. ¿Cómo se llama tu amigo? Él. Te presento a Scott. Mucho gusto. El gusto es mío. Pues, adiós. 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 Gosh, those guys look familiar. Another thing that we've been studying this unit is the members of the family. Let's go ahead and go over those again, starting with this question. ¿Quiénes son los miembros de tu familia? Now, you all please raise your hand and tell your teacher the answer to the question. ¿Listos? Watch this. What is this boy's relationship to these two people? Remember, this was the new one that we learned. A la una, a las dos, a las tres. El hijo. Manuel es el hijo de Rosa y Damián. And I'm going to have to show you in relation to other people because it could be something different. See, this girl here, she's the cousin of these people. She's the sister of this boy. She's the child of these. So I'm showing you this person in relation to these two. What is she? A la una, a las dos, a las tres. La hija. Cristina es la hija de Rosa y Damián. Okay, well, how about Carlos? What is his relationship to Manuel y Cristina? A la una, a las dos, a las tres. Es el primo. El primo. He's their cousin, right? Well, how about Luisa? What is her relationship to Cristina y Manuel? A la una, a las dos, a las tres. es la prima de Cristina y Manuel. What is Manuel's relationship to Cristina? A la una, a las dos, a las tres. El hermano. Manuel es el hermano de Cristina. What is Cristina's relationship to Manuel? Do you know that? Raise your hand and tell your teacher. A la una, a las dos, a las tres. La hermana. La hermana. That's right. She's his sister. What is Damián's relationship to Cristina y Manuel? Damián es el, a la una, a las dos, a las tres. Es el padre o el papá de Cristina y Manuel. Yeah. Well, how about Rosa? What is her relationship to Cristina y Manuel? A la una, a las dos, a las tres. Es la madre o la mamá de Cristina y Manuel. How about Don Sabino up here? What is his relationship to Cristina y Manuel? Do you know that? A la una, a las dos, a las tres. Es el abuelo de Cristina y Manuel. What is Doña Rosana's relationship to Cristina y Manuel? A la una, a las dos, a las tres. Es la abuela de Cristina y Manuel. How about Juan? What is his relationship to Cristina y Manuel? A la una, a las dos, a las tres. Es el tío de Cristina y Manuel. And how about Valeria? What is her relationship to Cristina y Manuel? A la una, a las dos, a las tres. Es la tía de Cristina y Manuel. Muy bien. Ahora, quiero que repasen todos otra vez con este video. Presten atención y repitan todos. La familia. ¿Quiénes son los miembros de tu familia? Mamá, papá, mis papás, mi hermano, mi hermana, mis hermanos, mi abuelo paterno, mi abuela paterna, mi abuelo materno, mi abuela materna, mis abuelos, mi tío, mi tía, mis tíos, mi primo, mi prima, mis primos, el hijo, la hija, los hijos. All right. Hopefully those are getting really familiar to you by now and you can recognize all of them. And now remember that when we talk about family relationships, they're kind of relative. For example, Luis here is the son of Rosa and Miguel. He is the brother of Esteban. He is the father of Susana and Pedro. And he is the uncle of Marta and David. So this one person has a lot of different relationships, and you have to understand the relationships to the different people, right? Now, when we talked about families, we talked about this question, ¿Cuántos tienes? Remember, we could say cuántos hermanos or tíos, okay? And we said that you could answer using this form. You could say, tengo, I have, so many tíos or abuelos, okay? And we asked this question about your family. ¿Cuántas personas hay en tu familia? How many people are there in your family? And now you should know the answer to this because of the activity sheet that we did about this. Remember? Your answer should look like this. Hay personas en mi familia. And you might count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hay 10 personas en mi familia. And you notice to answer both of these questions, we used numbers. So we studied the numbers. Remember those? Quiero que repasen los números con este video. Presten atención y repitan todos.
Los números. 0,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31.
Muy bien. Y ahora vamos a repasar con lotería. Lotería. So you'll each need to have your lotería game boards ready, and you'll have to have something to mark your boards with. I have these little fichas, these little round plastic things. You can use beans or pennies or pieces of paper, whatever you want to mark on your game. Now your game board should look like this. And you need to get 3 in a row. You can go horizontalmente, verticalmente, o diagonalmente. That's right. So go ahead and mark those as you see them come up. Ready? Let's go ahead and start. The first one is Los Padres. If you have Los Padres on your game board, go ahead and mark it now, please. Remember this one? Estoy bien. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy bien. If you have Estoy bien on your game board, go ahead and mark it now. Here's one of the numbers that we talked about. 30. 30. If you have that on your game board, go ahead and mark it now. 30. Los abuelos. If you have Los abuelos on your game board, go ahead and mark it now. Remember Los abuelos, the grandparents? La madre o la mamá. If you have la madre on your game board, go ahead and mark it. 12. Here's another number that we were talking about. 12. If you have that on your game board, please go ahead and mark it now. How about this? La prima. If you have la prima on your game board, go ahead and mark it. 2. El número 2. Go ahead and mark it. 25. If you have 25 on your game board, go ahead and mark it now. El abuelo. If you have el abuelo on your game board, go ahead and mark him now. Hola, abuelo. Luisa es la hija de Juan y Valeria. And you see here's Luisa and she's la hija de Juan y Valeria. If you have that on your game board, go ahead and mark it. Hey! Hey! Loteria! Loteria! Yeah! And you hear that, when you win at this game, you don't say bingo, because that's not the name of this game. The name of this game is Loteria. Well, I tell you what, I think we have enough time for another game. Do you guys want to play again? You can either keep the same game boards or change them around, whatever you want to do. I've got mine all set. Let's go ahead and continue. If you have 15 on your game board, go ahead and mark it now. 15. Yeah, these are all of the numbers, remember? Okay, now look at this one. Buenos días, ¿cómo te llamas? Now, there's a couple like this on the game board, so look for the one that says Buenos días. If you have the one that says Buenos días, go ahead and mark it. Ah, Los Hermanos. If you have Los Hermanos on your game board, go ahead and mark it now. Ah, here's another one. See, they're talking again. ¿Cómo estás, María? If you have the one that says ¿Cómo estás? Go ahead and mark it now. ¿Cómo estás? El hermano. If you have el hermano on your lotería board, go ahead and mark it. El padre o el papá. If you have el padre or el papá on your game board, go ahead and mark it. Ah, here's this one. He asked her, ¿Cómo estás? And she says, Estoy bien, gracias, José. So María está bien. If you have that one, go ahead and mark it. Okay? Doña Rosana es la mamá de Juan. And you see, there's Juan, and there's Doña Rosana. Doña Rosana es la mamá de Juan. Go ahead and mark that one if you have it. El tío. If you have el tío, go ahead and mark that now. If you have la madre or la mamá on yours, go ahead and mark that. Hey, hey, check it out. Lotería, lotería. All right. Well, you all should keep practicing because the next lesson will be the evaluation lesson. It's a chance for us to see how the Spanish lessons are doing. I'm sure that you are all going to do very well. Pero saben que ya es hora de despedirnos. It's time to say goodbye. For our goodbye song today, let's sing the song that we sang after the first lesson of the year, Cielito Lindo. Canten conmigo. De la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo, vienen bajando un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo de contrabando. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Very good. You guys keep practicing by playing Lotería. Look at your notebooks for this unit. Go over some of the activity sheets we've done, and I'm sure that you'll all do very well. Until our next lesson, adiós y hasta luego.